Shalom, today is December 24th and we're in day 445 of the war in Israel. The newspapers today start with three fallen soldiers in the northern part of Gaza while fighting. Hallel, Eli, and Netanel have fallen in the northern Gaza strip. המהלך של הממשלה נגד היועמ"שית. The move of the government against the Attorney General of the government. And this is Gali Baharav Miara, the Attorney General. And here is Yariv Levin, Minister of Justice in Israel. The cartoon today is a mother walking with her child in the stroller. The child is asking her, when are we getting home? And she, while looking at the poster of the many hostages still in Gaza, says, I wish I knew. So it's a double meaning here, as we do not know yet about the return of the 100 hostages still held in captivity by Hamas, as the hostage release deal is not progressing, and many families and people are with much disappointment and are longing to see their loved ones back at home. Hakadur etzel Levin. The ball is at Yariv Levin's court. Yariv Levin is the Minister of Justice. Here he is. Or yarok lekidum hadachat hayu'amashit. Green light to progress the firing or the termination of the Attorney General Gali Baharav Miara. Now this is controversial. It's been going on for months, but now there's a green light and Levin will decide. She's going to come for a hearing in the full cabinet, in the government, and she will defend her record. The opposition is very much against firing Gali Baharav Miara, and this time they're saying the coalition is dealing with nonsense right now. We have a war going on. Even last night, the Houthis again launched ballistic missiles to central Israel that were intercepted this time. Yes, so this is what's going on in the coalition right now. This is major news in the newspaper. Let's move on. The three heroes that will not return, it reads, Hallel 21 from Talmon, Netanel 21 from El Azar, and Eli 22 from Kiryat Motzkin. They say about Hallel that he was connected to the country and to the land, to the people of Israel, and he left 5 brothers and sisters, left behind 5 brothers and sisters. And Netanel leaves behind 7 brothers and sisters. And on Eli, they write that he grew up on loving the land, Gadal al Ahavat haaretz, loving the land of Israel. May their memory be blessed. Israel b'milchama, Israel's at war. In the photograph, we see representatives of some of the families of the hostages, and it reads, a quote from them, Hachatufim hafchu lemispar. The hostages have turned into just a number. Hem gvar lo ha'achim shel kulanu. They're not the brothers of all of us anymore. And it reads that the empathy towards the families of the hostages, the empathy that characterized the Israeli public and the government is wearing out. Holechet v'nishcheket, wearing out. A daughter of one of the hostages, Ohad ben Ami, says, we cannot allow that the hostages will be removed from the agenda. To the next, this article is informative and very interesting about the terror in Judea and Samaria. The headline reads, Mechatrim et hateror. Mechatrim is from the word crown and crowning. So encircling the terror in Judea and Samaria. There's been a difference, a change. The last year, it reads here, 254 terror attacks have happened in Judea and Samaria in the year 2024. And this is less than a third of the number of terror attacks that happened in 2023. So this article explains a little bit about what were the differences that the IDF did, the security forces operated upon, and what were the learned lessons after October 7th, 2023. We see here in the chart the different types of terror attacks and the comparison from 2022, the spike in 2023, and then the decrease, quite significant decrease, is in 2024. The numbers are speaking for themselves. But there's a key sentence here, and it says we need to notice, or we need to remember, that everything in this area, the Judea and Samaria area, is temporary. We're speaking about an area that things can flare up at any time with any military operation or any political development even. Now we need to understand that Judea and Samaria are one of the hot places of terror in Israel. It's very dangerous there. Many Palestinians are part of terror groups. They're organized terror groups. They're acting like really just like organizations. They have funding, they have ammunition. It's very hard to control them, although the IDF and the security forces do a lot of jobs and works there. They even use Air Force bombings in Judea and Samaria when they need to. What has caused this decrease in terror? One assumption is that the readiness classes, which are civilians from the settlements, the Jewish settlements in Judea and Samaria, they get the guys ready with ammunition, with guns, they're trained, and they stand throughout the day and night protecting their settlement, their families. So these readiness classes have been fortified with more munition, more people that are working with them, and they've been stronger classes. And also, the IDF has been having more operations inside, and the Palestinian authorities has been taking more control. This is to show that they can govern and they can take control over the terror, because this will help them be approved to govern Gaza in the day that they'll be asked, if they'll be asked. So to finalize this article, yes, there's been a decrease in the terror in Judea and Samaria for a few reasons, but the dangers can be right around the corner, as this is such a sensitive, hot place where everything can flare up in no time with every little change. If we just read about a decrease in terror, let's read about an increase in inflammatory bowel diseases in Israel. There are more and more cases of Crohn's disease and colitis. A dramatic increase in the number of these inflammatory bowel diseases since October 7th. We're speaking about very hard diseases that harm very much the quality of life and many times lead to social isolation. And it reads that the main reason to the increase in these numbers is stress. And the experts explain that the connection between bowel and digestive and soul and mental health is very well known, and it's proven. But also financial situations can cause this, as it's hard. Many of the sick people were fired from their jobs, and they can't keep up with the cost of life or even taking care of themselves with this, and their situation is getting worse. Here in the image, they're naming a few symptoms that can be warning signs if you have a inflammatory bowel disease. On the left, we read of how this October 7th and the war has influenced the cholesterol levels in our blood. That's the headline. And here is a professor explaining, yes, how the stress impacts our cholesterol. But if we want more cholesterol for good reasons, let's eat sufganiyot. Sufganiyot are for Hanukkah in Israel, fat little patties that are deep fried in a lot of oil. Here we are with 3 different recipes and small little sufganiyot that we can make at home. Maybe we'll be able to post a recipe online on All Israel News. So for more news that matters, follow us on allisrael.com. Follow us on our social media. I'm Rotem again for All Israel News. And if you like this video, like it and send it to your friends and family.